Over the last many months, quite a few people have been asking us about our backgrounds, where we come from, how did we achieve our financial independence, what kind of jobs did we do, what savings did we do, etc. Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. On our channel, we try and create awareness around personal finance, how to achieve financial independence, and how to potentially even retire early. As we keep saying in our videos, financial independence is a must. Retiring early is an option. So everybody definitely should have their journey to financial independence. Over the last many months, quite a few people have been asking us about our backgrounds, where we come from, how did we achieve our financial independence, what kind of jobs did we do, what savings did we do, etc. I'm going to address some of those points in this video. So instead of just one-liner introduction, I'll give a little bit longer introduction about Seema and myself, and also tell you the 5 steps that we took towards our financial independence. Hopefully these 5 steps can also help you, inspire you, and get some inputs and pointers based on our own journey. So let's first get started with the introduction. So both Seema and I, we both hail from a very middle-class background. I'm from a farmer background. My father was a farmer, my mother was a housewife from Punjab. Seema, her father was in State Bank of India and her mother was a housewife. So very middle class. We started in very normal middle-class schools. Seema went to government school, I went to private school, and I studied in Bangalore University, Seema studied in Delhi University. And after that, we started our career, where I still remember my first salary was 5,000 rupees a month. And at that time, that felt very good that I have my own salary. And my first job was selling ads in the Yellow Pages. I know I sound very old by saying Yellow Pages because that's a redundant or a defunct business model now, but that's what I used to do. I used to have my scooter, go around selling spaces or ad spaces in the Yellow Pages to small businesses, and I used to get commission by doing so. So I started my career in sales, while Seema started her career as a technical programmer and then rose up the rank from programmer to team leader to project manager to relationship manager. So over the years, so this is her growth, and my growth was being a sales rep, then being a business development manager, then a regional manager, and so on and so forth. So this has been our journey. And interestingly, in our journey, we did not have any overnight riches. So we did not hit any jackpot, we did not have any lottery, we had also not invested in any crypto that went big and we made it. Our journey, financial journey, was, I would say, very consistent, boring journey. And our career was also, I would say, consistent, just slowly rising up the ladder, being at the right place at the right time many times, and achieving our, let's say, professional growth. So what in our journey were those 5 ingredients or those 5 steps that helped us achieve financial independence faster than probably the standard retirement age? The first step was navigating our career path or creating a career path. I use 3 simple rules. What am I enjoying doing? The second was, am I good at that, what I'm enjoying doing? And third is, can I make good living of what I'm doing? And these 3 were answered that I realized that I enjoy sales. And I also realized over a period of time that I'm fairly okay at sales. Some people would say that I was also good at sales. So at least over the years, I built that. And the third was that I was able to make a good living from that. So I used practical approach, and so did Seema. So navigating that career path, being very pragmatic and practical, was very important. And to make sure that we are ticking all the three boxes, that is the idea of heaven. And fortunately, for both our professions, we were able to tick all the three boxes. In your case, it could be that you're ticking 2 out of the 3, that you are making good money of that and you enjoy, but you may be average at that. Or it could be that you are good at something, you're making money, but you may not enjoy. There were times in our career that we were also either 1 out of 3, we were not making money, we were still learning, so we were not even good at that, or we went into 2 out of 3. So take your time, and that's how we also navigated our career path on these 3 steps. So that is step number 1. So the next was, once we started making a living, how do we manage our expenses? And that was the second one, lifestyle management. I always say salary is for vanity. The savings are for sanity. So you could have $1 million salary, but if you have $1 million expenses, then you could be the flashiest person, very renowned, but you are, what I would say, just a rolling stone. So in our case, managing that expenses and managing our lifestyle became a very important step towards our financial independence journey. Over the years, we very clearly realized that what matters is our own gratification and our own satisfaction rather than the validation of people around us. And that helped us manage our expenses very well. We set a rule very early on that no matter what happens, we will save 30% of our total salary. So there were years when we had one-time expenses. With those one-time expenses, we used the lever somewhere else to make sure that we are saving 30% of our salary. And what happened is that over the years, the salary went up, but we made sure that our expenses are not going to that same proportion, that we are only saving 30. So if I plot a graph, you will see that our initial expenses, we did save 30%, but over the years, that savings rose dramatically. How? Because that's where the third step came into play, was having a consistent investment strategy. When we started working, there was nothing of this so-called FIRE movements. We did not have these amazing YouTube channels, so much of information available. Minded that we started a career in the Yellow Pages time, so the knowledge was in a very different form than it is today. So we had to stumble and learn. But while we were stumbling and learning, we realized that yes, when we are saving money, when we are managing our expenses, we have set our motto that we will save 30%, then we had to invest it somewhere. We initially started our portfolio, building our portfolio by buying a small apartment. At that time, I think it was the first property that we bought with all our savings put together was 10 lakh rupees. And then we put it on rent. So we started generating passive income. So this is how we started our investment journey. And that 10 lakh also, we had to pay the mortgage, we had to pay a monthly EMI for that. But from the day one, that was an investment property, so we put it on rent. The key was to consistently invest every month. So the minimum 30% of our savings that we were doing, we were investing. And we were diversifying. So that became our fourth point. That not only that we will invest and we'll start investing in different products. So initially, it was real estate, but then we started buying gold. Then we started buying mutual funds. Then we started buying the RSUs from the companies that we were working for. Sorry, not RSUs, the shares, including the RSUs that we were also getting. That diversification helped us a lot. Now, over the years, we also realized that it is not just the type of asset that you have to diversify, but it is also, we had the luxury that we could even diversify in the different markets. So we could also diversify in currencies. Because we had overseas assignments, because we lived overseas, and many of you who may be listening, maybe NRIs, maybe in working for some of the companies in different parts of the world. So you may relate to that you end up saving in euros, you may end up saving in dollars and rupees. So we did the same and we diversified. We made sure that we are not concentrating our investments in one particular currency. And we also diversified the risk profile. I've spoken about this risk profile in another video about the bucket strategy. And we started, again, we did not know the concept of bucket strategy. We got to know a lot more later in our late 30s, early 40s. But somehow, because of this serendipity, that we said that no, it is not just going to be that we'll only put it in one kind of asset class. Within even shares, we made sure that there are shares which are much more stable, so they are for midterm, and then there are shares which are growth stocks, be it in tech industry, be it some startups, or even crypto, where we invested. So that diversification was in currencies, diversification was in asset classes, diversification was in countries, and diversification was in the risk that we did. So that was a very important aspect to that. And the last point that we had in this 5 steps was preparing a personal plan for ourselves. Again, in the first decade of our career, we realized that we spent so much time for building business plans for our companies. So we do these annual business plans when the financial year starts. We build 2-year, 3-year plans. We set targets. We have a quarterly review. We have QBRs. So we spend so much time during our professional lives for our clients that we are working for the companies that we are working for. But we spend very little time for our own so-called business plan. And that is when Seema and I started questioning ourselves that where is our business plan? And that's where we put it in a PowerPoint, we put it in an Excel sheet, and that Excel sheet was what is our expenses. So it's a monthly expense chart, including what is our discretionary expenses, what is our non-discretionary expenses, so what is our fixed expenses, what is our variable expenses. And we know these numbers for the last 15 years. So we know very clearly that how much money have we spent on our mortgage, on our car maintenance, on our car upkeep, maids, or anything which is, let's say, fixed expenses. How much have we spent on our entertainment, on our holidays, etc. And what have been our one-time expenses. So we can clearly, over the last 15 years, because of availability of that data, doing this month on month on month, we can do our analytics and say that how much was the real regular inflation in our expenses and how much was the lifestyle inflation. So having the data of doing this over the last 15 years has enabled us to be more confident that what we are entering into retirement, that if this is the amount of lifestyle inflation we've had over the last 15 years, this is what we can take a calculated risk could be for the next 15 to 20 years. Again, as they say in the mutual funds industry, that past performance is no guarantee to future success, so we don't know, but at least it gives us a lot more confidence. So this is one part of that business plan, expense management. The other part was portfolio management. So again, how are we rebalancing our portfolio? How are we doing it on a monthly basis? How are we doing it on a quarterly basis? What is our making money on a quarterly basis? And at the end of the year, how much money has our primary income, that is the salary, brought into the portfolio, and how much money has our passive income or the portfolio brought onto the table? And for us, the 1st of January every year is a big day, because that is when we sit down, we spend half a day analyzing all our data and putting those ambitions onto a PowerPoint and saying that this is our ambition for the next year. These are the things that we want to do, both qualitative and quantitative. Quantitative, there is enough data in the Excel sheet now that we have, and qualitative in terms of that these are the holidays we want to do, this is the career growth we want to do, this is what we are doing in terms of our lifestyle, etc. But we spend that time. So that personal business plan was instrumental and critical towards our financial journey to financial independence. And my request to all of you, whoever is watching, make sure that whenever you're doing such a personal business plan, that you're not doing in isolation. Do it as a partner, because the biggest investment, as I've spoken in the other videos, that we do is not buying some stock or some real estate. It is the life partner we choose. And surprisingly, many of my friends or people in my network, they've made that big investment of their life partner and they are very happy together, but they don't seem to share that level of financial information as well as their qualitative goals on a yearly basis. And that is also another reason that many of my people within my network, I see that they have reached that more than financial independence, I would say, but they hesitate to retire early because they've never had that, that discussion that what are they going to do, how are they going to pursue, and they have that hesitation. So anyways, so these were the 5 steps. So in summary, the first is navigate your career. And when you're navigating your career, navigate not just by saying that what are your hopes and dreams and passion and hobby, but very practically that what are you good at, what are you enjoying doing, and can you make a good living out of it. Out of these 3 points, making a good living out of it is an important part. You may get good at it, or you may or may not enjoy during your career. That passes. So that's the first step that we did, navigating career. The second was our lifestyle management. As I said, salary is for vanity. It's the savings that are for sanity. So managing those expenses, and not just expenses, lifestyle, makes a big change. The third is consistent investment. It's simple. There is no, get rich quick schemes. If you've won a lottery, fantastic. If you invested in Bitcoin at a few cents, great. But 99% of people like us, we've not done that. So that consistent, boring investment journey is super important to go through. The fourth is diversifying. You may be doing investments, you may be heavily invested many times in the company you're working in. And like I've mentioned in a few of the other videos, that's a very dangerous position to be, where your majority of, not only your primary income is coming from the same company, but even majority of your investments are in the same company. So that's the fourth one. And the fifth one is to have that personal business plan, and to consistently, on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a yearly basis, review that. Not just the quantitative part, not just the Excel sheet, the numbers, but the qualitative part. So these were the 5 steps that enabled us. Hopefully, they also help you and enable you towards your journey. And hopefully, this quick snapshot of an introduction about our backgrounds also gives you a glimpse about Seema and myself. And hopefully, in the coming videos, we will try and give more and more information as and when we can give. So, till the next video, till the next location, and it's a nice breezy day. I'm in Bangkok, and just as a teaser, I may, or Seema and I, we may be here for good. You never know, because this is where we are exploring this as our retirement location, and that's what brings us here to Bangkok. So till the next location and till the next topic, goodbye from me. Bye-bye.